Back now to our continuing coverage of the death of Pope John Paul II. We return to Rome now, where I am joined by Kishore Jayabalan, the director of the Acton Institute for the Study of Religion and Liberty. Mr. Jayabalan was also baptized by the Holy Father. Thank you very much for joining us.
It's good to be here.
So obviously that is such a great honor. And what's particularly interesting about you is that you were not born Catholic, but rather you embraced it later in life. How is it that you were fortunate enough to be baptized by the Pope?
Well, I started out very well in the sense that I went to Catholic schools my whole life, from kindergarten right up until university. And while I was going through the process through which any adult becomes a Catholic, the rite of Christian initiation for adults, I was speaking with my future godfather, and one day he called and he said, "Sit down, maybe you should get baptized by the Pope in Rome." Of course, I didn't think he was serious, and I said, "Of course not, I can't go." I had all these excuses. But thank goodness he was persistent, and eventually it all happened. I really don't know what he did. He must have put through some kind of magic paperwork and to the right people.
Well, it really doesn't matter, does it? Because the bottom line is you were baptized by the Pope, and you were not only baptized, but several other sacraments were given to you. What were they, and what did they mean?
Well, I was baptized, which is the initial Christian sacrament. I was confirmed, which is the sealing of more or less of your baptism with the oil. And I received my first communion, which is, of course, receiving the body and blood of Jesus Christ.
Final question for you. The Acton Institute promotes the study and interaction of religion and liberty. And while the Pope promoted liberty in the world, obviously he was instrumental in the fall of communism, within the Church there didn't seem to be much room for liberty at all. Would you comment on that, please?
Well, I'm not sure that's exactly the case. I mean, there's always been some room of liberty, especially among lay people. Priests and religious are under different obligations, but people are free to accept God and not to accept Him. And the workings of the free society and the virtuous society are things that the Acton Institute and, of course, the Catholic Church is very interested in.
Is it safe to say that meeting the Pope was the greatest thrill of your life?
Certainly, certainly. I met him about 5 times, so I had about 5 greatest thrills of my life.
Very fortunate man. Kishore Jayabalan, thank you very much for being with us tonight. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.